Hello. I've been meaning to do this video recap of my race for like a month. So now you are seeing me here doing the race video recap. So full disclosure, it's been over a month since I've run that race. It's November 10th. I ran that race like the first weekend in October. But I got my coffee and I'm ready to help you guys be successful at your 10K race by recapping 10 things that helped me be successful in my 10K race. So let's get started. I ran this race with the intention of testing out fueling and just seeing where my fitness was at. So I'm not saying this will help you run your fastest 10K. I'm just saying it will help you get through your 10K. And one of the most important things I think of when I think of, preparing for a race is what you eat before the race. So yes, everybody talks about carb loading and all those kind of things, but morning of the race, it is important to eat breakfast. Now, I used to be the runner who didn't run with a full stomach or didn't eat before runs because I got cramps or I thought I was gonna poop my pants, which I did one time. It happens to the best of us. But eating before, especially longer distance races, is really important so that you have fuel for your race. For me, I always eat oats before a race. This time I had plain oats and a packet of apple cinnamon oats mixed together. So it's not super sweet because I don't like super sweet things, A, and B, I didn't want it to be messing with my stomach. But I know that oats works for me. Trying to get a little bit of protein if you can before a race can be helpful, but for me, I focus on mostly carbs. Some other things you could probably eat, like I said, I do oatmeal, you could do bananas. I've done toast before long runs before, like bagels, carby things. And then I also just eat as soon as I get up and get ready to go for the race. So I ate most of that oatmeal in the car to the race. So about 1 to 2 hours before the race starts to make sure it can get in and sometimes through your system. Number 2 is your hydration strategy. So what I did is I started hydrating days before the race. I genuinely try to drink around a gallon of water. And I know there's some formula you can calculate how much water you should drink, but because I am a tall and heavy person, I do need about a gallon of water. I started hydrating or focusing on hydration days before the race, making sure I drank some electrolytes, making sure I got enough water in, because really tomorrow's hydration starts today, kids. I hate to break it to you, but you gotta hydrate before you need to hydrate, if that makes sense. A couple of tips for race day. This is so funny. Not haha funny, but it's so me. I brought a hydration vest thinking I was going to use it, but I forgot the water bottles, little squishy water bottles that go in the vest. So the vest was virtually useless for what I was going to use it for. So I ended up buying a handheld water bottle the night before. Oh, hold on. Let me show you. Okay, this is the bag I kind of packed myself race morning because it was just the bag that was around. I ended up buying myself a handheld water bottle the night before the race because I realized I didn't bring the little squishy flasks that go in my hydration vest. So this one is literally the only one they had at REI when I went there at 8:30 at night the night before. It's a Nathan water bottle. It fits around your hand like this and you can tighten it. So I ended up running the whole race with this. In this bottle, I had electrolytes only. Before the race started, I did drink some pre-workout. I didn't take a whole scoop. I had half a scoop and I drank half of the bottle. Hydration during the race, I walked through the aid stations and took all the water. I had my own electrolytes in my handheld bottle. And don't forget the importance of fueling and hydrating during the race, which brings me to my next point. Tip number 3, you should be fueling during your race. Now, for me personally, if it's 5K or shorter, I'm not fueling during the race. So general rule of thumb is if you're going to go over an hour, you should be thinking about how you are going to fuel during that race or that training run. I actually did an 8-mile training run yesterday and it went really well, and I'm crediting that to my fueling strategy because every 35-ish minutes I had a gel or a honey stinger. Some people use candy. I don't really like candy, so make sure that you're testing your nutrition before your race day so that you know it works with your stomach, that you like the taste of it, that it's actually going to help you, not hinder you during your race. You just want to avoid as many surprises as you can, especially when it comes to during the race nutrition, because we're just trying to avoid any discomfort or accidents. Number 4 tip is pacing. So for me, I use this as a training run and I have the Run the app. So it was my long run for the week, even though it was like a race environment, which worked well for me because the app was pacing me in a specific way. So I did I want to say it was 3.5 mile warm up. And then it was like 1 mile tempo and then like a cool down. So it kind of helped me pace from the app. But the one tip I would give you if this is your first 10K ever is just try not to go too fast at the beginning. Like go stupid slow at the very beginning of the race. And then if you're feeling good past halfway, then start to pick up the pace. One mistake that I used to make was like just starting out feeling good, going off the adrenaline, and like I get burnt out halfway through the race and I'd be like, great, now I have 4 more miles to run. So just try to go as slow as you possibly can in the beginning. Something that I do when I don't have like the app pacing me and it's a longer distance is I try to do half of the distance with like a podcast or no music so that it can kind of slow me down in a way. And then once I get to that halfway point, that's when I turn on music and it kind of helps my pacing. It helps me like energy wise and it helps the time go by faster. So if you need something to help you pace, that's a good tip as well. Another thing that when it comes to pacing that I try to do is run faster in the second half or negative split. All that means is like you're running faster the second half of the race than you are the first half of the race. So going really like it's going to feel stupid slow up to halfway and then starting to pick up the pace. One thing I tell myself, my saying is like finish faster. So like don't like it's not always going to be like a sprint finish, but it's like finish faster than you started. So that kind of sets me up in the beginning to run kind of slow and that sets me up at the end to kind of push it because it's almost over. For specifically the 10K, because it's 6.1 miles, like I said, I did the first like 3.5 miles as my warm up, just getting my legs moving, adjusting to the environment and the crowd and like the people. And then in the middle is where I tried to pick it up towards the end. It was supposed to be my cool down, but I got excited and I was feeling good, so I did run it faster. But that's kind of the nature of a race environment. When you start seeing the finish line and like hearing all the cheers, it's like you're gonna naturally want to pick up the pace anyway. So number 5 is make sure you have all your gear in order the night before. Funny story about this specific race, and I didn't show this on camera, is like I went to bed thinking I might not get to do the race because I didn't pick up my bib before because I was driving from out of town and it was a logistical nightmare. And they put on the website, it's like, no exceptions. You can't pick up your bib the day of. You definitely can. Like multiple people did it. And so I went to sleep thinking I might not even get to run this race. I emailed like the race email and they responded to me like midnight, but I had already gone to bed because I knew I would have to get up if I were running the race. So I woke up to my email. I panicked, jumped out of bed, and I was like, oh my God. Like I had set up nothing. I didn't get out my outfit. I didn't set up my food. I didn't have like I had nothing ready. So tip number 5 is to make sure you check your gear and get it in order the night before. So you're not running around like a chicken with your head cut off at like 4 a.m. looking like an absolute crazy person and waking up everyone in your house like I did. So make sure that you're wearing clothes that you're already comfortable in. Like don't buy a brand new outfit and wear it on race day and expect it not to chafe in weird places or like we leave weird uncomfortable sweat lines or whatever. The outfit that I wore is tried and true. The green shorts. I've had those since 2017. Like my mom bought them for me before I started undergrad. I'm about to graduate with my master's in May, so like I've literally had those shorts forever. They are like Nike running specific shorts. I think they came from Kohl's though, and I love them. Like they're short enough not to get in the way, but they're long enough that I don't feel like my booty cheeks are hanging out the back. Not an ad, not a sponsor, but just make sure whatever you're wearing is like tried and true. Sports bra included. When I started running, I didn't realize like you could chafe under your boobs. So like if you're new to running and you haven't heard this yet, you can chafe under your boobs. Like it's a lot when you get in the shower and you're like, yeah. So just make sure you have your equipment that's comfortable. You've tested your shoes. Like nothing new on race day is what everyone says, but it's like, it's pretty true. Like just make sure you test it out before. Also make sure you look for the weather. It was October 2nd or 3rd when I ran this race and I live in Texas. So it quite literally, it's November 10th and it's currently 76 degrees and humid. So I wore short sleeves and shorts, and it was fine for me. But if you live somewhere up north and you're like, it's freezing in October, then you need to dress accordingly. Do you need to wear long sleeves? Would you prefer to wear leggings? Do you need gloves? Do you need like ear covers? Make sure you look at the weather beforehand so you kind of know what to wear. Because if I thought like, oh, it's October, it's going to be cold, and I wore like long sleeves and leggings, I would have been burning up. Like, it was ridiculous. Tip number 6, managing your pre-race nerves. Like I said, the night before, I wasn't even sure if I was going to run that race. And so my nerves were like really bad. I don't think I slept very well. Not because I wasn't tired, but just because I didn't know if I was going to run my race. And so make sure you do things to manage your nerves. Maybe pick up your bib or have someone pick up your bib before the day of. I don't know. Maybe set out your clothes like I said. I don't know. Another thing that works for me when it comes to just calming down and de-stressing in general is yoga. I do yoga with Adrienne. Again, she's not sponsoring this video, but it just helps me. That might not help you. You might need a journal, pray about it, whatever you need to do to kind of bring yourself to like a calmer level. Also, the day of the race, when you get to wherever the race is being held, the venue, you're gonna maybe be nervous again. So doing your pre-run stretch routine or whatever you normally do during a training run will also help bring those nerves down. I did the exact same warm-up that I do at home before all of my runs at the race. So I got a blanket, I set it on the floor, and I did all my warm-up exercises. I was thinking like, oh, this is so embarrassing, but it's like literally everybody else is also doing their pre-run warm-up or whatever they gotta do. And if they're not, they're just probably there for like the vibes and have fun and like to push their baby in a stroller and like walk their dog. But like nobody's looking at you weird if you're doing your pre-race or your pre-run warm-up, because they're probably doing it too. Number 7 tip, make sure you go to the bathroom. Now this might be TMI, and if you're like, I don't want to hear about poop, then like skip this part of the video, but I was successful in using the bathroom twice before I started my race, because my main goal is to like at least poop once before I start my run, especially if it's going to be a long run, especially if it's going to be outside. I do a lot of treadmill training, so sometimes when I'm about to get on the treadmill, I don't worry about it as much because I'm like 3 steps from a bathroom. But on a race, especially a longer race, I've said it 3 times in this video already, but like I have pooped my pants during a training run. I have stopped to use the bathroom during a race. It is what it is, but like I would rather not do either of those things. So one thing that helped me, was eating my breakfast really, really early. So I think I finished my breakfast at like 5:30 and the race didn't start till like 8:30. So that's a good 2 hours. I had water and caffeine that helped things like move along. So I didn't have coffee that morning, but I did have pre-workout, but it had enough caffeine to like move things along. If you didn't know, caffeine's a diuretic, so it makes you go to the bathroom. So yeah, just the more you know. So one thing you might have to consider when using the bathroom at a race is like the porta potty bathroom situation. At this specific race that I was at, there was like indoor bathrooms because the venue where it was at is also a concert venue, and so it has like stalls that are like covered, but that's not really the case with most races. That's why I like running these specific races with the Irving Marathon people, because they put on a really good race and their bathrooms, like I've never had an issue with like getting to the bathroom, and they're always like inside that one place, so I got lucky. But I have been to races where it's like only porta potties and it's like the line is ridiculously long, so like maybe get there early and like finish drinking your coffee in the line for the bathroom, and then a lot of people will circle back and get in the line for the bathroom again. Or if you're like me and you don't really care about your time, I just waited until I got like a mile or 2 on the course and like went to the bathroom on the course. But if you're going for a specific time, sometimes you just like want to get it over with. So just be mindful of what the bathroom situation could be at your race and make sure you try to go. Tip number 8, embrace slow running. I mentioned it before with pacing, but like start out stupidly slow. Like you should feel silly with how slow you start, and at least take the first like mile or so as a warm-up. Because it's 6 miles, I literally use the first half as a warm-up because I'm training for a marathon. So this is like a little bite out of the whole elephant that I'm trying to eat, if you will. Depending on what your goal is, like this is not the video for like professional runners who are trying to run a sub 60-minute 10K. No, this is for like beginner runners who just want to survive and like are trying to figure out what the fuss is about with running and like a runner's high. And like, so if that's you, literally just embrace slow running. Don't worry about the guy in the Alpha Flies like booking it past you. Don't worry about the like high school senior who's like using this as training for cross country who's like already halfway down the street. Once you start, like, run your own race, embrace the slower running, and trust me, if you're anything like me, once you get past 2 or 3 miles, you'll feel a little bit more warmed up and you'll naturally pick up the pace. Number 9, race day logistics. Now, if you start to get a little bit more serious about like going for goal times, or you just want to quell your anxiety, go on the website and like look at what the course is like. Know like when things actually start. So like for me, the 10K was not the only race. Obviously, there was a 5K, a 10K, and a half marathon. So it's like different start times for each of those. Obviously, I didn't do a good job at race day logistics because I almost didn't like race because I didn't have my bib. But if you can get as much information as you can before, it'll help you the day of kind of know what the flow is like of traffic, of timing, of bathrooms. Like all of that is like pre-race logistical stuff that you can usually find on the race website. Make sure you arrive early as well. I'm not an early riser. Like, I would rather sleep in, and I'm also notoriously late to most things. But I did get here early, mostly because of the bib situation, and it was much more relaxed. Like, I was able to do my warm-up. I was able to go to the bathroom twice. I was able to like find a spot to like lay my blanket down and, you know, kind of chill for a bit before the race starts. And I felt way calmer than in the past. Like, I've literally run races where I've like parked my car, run out, and like ran straight onto the course because I was that late. I've done that before and that was horrible. So if anything, just get there early and wait. And I think it'll help you have a way smoother race day than I usually have. Okay, final tip, post-race recovery. Make sure you're prioritizing your recovery after the race. For me, I skipped stretching. I should have stretched. And then make sure you're fueling after the race. So getting in protein, getting a few carbs to like replenish your glycogen stores, drinking water, and making sure you rehydrate. Basically all the things that you did before race, you need to do after. Make sure you're sleeping. Usually races are on the weekend, so like I'm giving you a free pass to go home and like take a nap if you want to. That's basically what I did because I hadn't run that far in my training program yet. So 6 miles felt like a lot at that time. And 6 miles is a lot. What am I saying? But these are the 3 things I would focus on when it comes to post-race recovery: stretching, hydration, and nutrition. If you can go home and sit down for like 10 minutes and like look something up on YouTube, post-run yoga, post-run stretch, something to get your body kind of moving through that pain or what could be pain tomorrow, it'll help you. Rehydrating, drink a lot of water after the race. Drink some electrolytes after the race. I ended up drinking a Gatorade because we stopped by a gas station and I was like, I'm dying. I need like fluids. I drank orange juice at brunch and it was like, I don't know why that orange juice was like the best orange juice I had ever tasted in my life. And then nutrition. So again, you should be getting protein to help rebuild your muscles because you just spent like probably over an hour tearing them down. But also getting in some carbs to replenish your glycogen stores. And of course, healthy fats are like life. We can make a video about healthy fats, but like healthy fats. Your goal is just trying to help your body recover faster instead of just like laying on the couch like a zombie and being like, oh my gosh, everything hurts and I'm dying. Like that feeling will go away if you can prioritize those 3 things: mobility, hydration, and nutrition. But yeah, those are my 10 tips for how to have a successful 10K race. Just remember, every race is a chance to grow and improve, especially if you are using a 10K as a training race for something bigger like a half marathon or a marathon or ultra marathon. This is just one part of your running journey. So take everything as a learning experience. For me personally, this race was specifically to test out nutrition and race day logistics, and I learned a ton. So if this video helped you, leave me a comment down below. If you have any ideas for other running videos you want to see, also leave me a comment down below. And if you've run a 10K in the past and you want to share your experiences, comment down below. And that's it for my race recap and top 10 tips on how to be successful in the 10K race for beginner runners. I will see you guys later on. Bye!